I remember when you were prepared to fight Gustafsson the first time, all the questions were about Glover because he had just kind of been on the rise. And then you fought Glover, and all the questions were about Daniel Cormier. Everyone was like, what are you going to do after Glover? Now everyone's talking about another guy not named Stipe. So I guess why do you think that narrative has always followed your career? It's like fans and media never focus on the fight you have. It's always on the one they want to see next.
You know, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I think what it is being so good at what I do that it's just almost never enough. I'm very aware that, you know, that the Tom Aspinall is like, it's making more headlines than Stipe. And it's just the way that it is with me. You know, when I win, there's always an excuse, well, oh, he really wasn't that well-rounded, or, yeah, it's an interesting place to be in. And it's hard to compare to any other fighter because I don't think any other fighter in our sports history has ever had to deal with it. You know, I just beat Cyril Gane, and we can go back in a time machine and hear the way that people talked about Gane, his athleticism and his speed, and I mean what he did to Taitu Tavasa, and like, you know, and then as soon as I beat him, he's like, oh well, he wasn't that, or he's this, and like, so it's a very interesting place to be in, and it just is what it is.
Jon, with that narrative, you've obviously been having a little bit of fun with it in the lead up to this fight. You're saying quack, quack on Twitter, addressing the duck things. What are those fans getting wrong? Why are you not ducking Tom Aspinall? What are they reading wrong about this situation?
Okay, so I feel like narratives have been created that just truly aren't there. You can't duck a man that you were never scheduled to fight. It's like saying you got turned down by a girl who you never even hit on. You know what I'm saying? It's like me and Dana and Hunter have never sat down and talked about Tom Aspinall. He's never been on my radar. Never. I mean, just a moment ago, it was him and Sergey that was fighting, and Sergey could be in this position right now, and I would still be in the same place. I've beat people my whole career, and once I beat them, like the show just goes on. Like the French fans were just all over my case, and I just beat their guy, and I find myself constantly in the same position of, oh wow, he just beat another guy. Like what's next? You know what I mean? Like when I beat Glover Teixeira, he was on a 20-fight winning streak, and you beat Glover, and then everything just moves on. So for me personally now, it's just like I get that Tom is an exciting fighter. I get that finally, after 16 years, we found somebody who's 7 years younger than me and 30 pounds bigger than me. Like, we finally found someone who may give me a great challenge. And everyone wants to see it so bad. But for me, it's like, what's in it for me? He changes nothing if I beat him. Beating Tom is just like beating Cyril Gane. Has a whole country behind him. He's hot right now. What happens to me after I beat him? Nothing changes for me. So I'm not ducking Tom Aspinall. If I failed to fight Stipe, I would be ducking Stipe because we contractually have been signed up to fight over a year ago. This is Stipe's position. The Tom narrative came out of nowhere. He won a belt, and now suddenly I'm ducking him. I've never had negotiations to even fight him, if this makes sense. So the fans are just ignoring it. They're ignoring all logic, and they just have finally found someone that they think can compete with me, and everyone wants to see it now.
I guess the clarifying question then is, if Dana and Hunter do come to you after this fight, the figures make sense to you, would you then be open to fighting Tom Aspinall, or are you categorically thinking, he does nothing for me, I will not fight that guy?
He does nothing for me. He does nothing for me. If you're a person that wants to see me really challenged, then I get it, right? Like I said, 7 years younger, like 35 pounds bigger than me, right? I get it. It's like, wow, this Jon's so good. We finally found someone way younger and way bigger than him. Let's see how he does against that. I get that narrative. But for me, if you were my manager, if you were on my team, why not fight against Pereira, a guy who's the same age as you, and we walk around the same exact size? Right now, I had to eat a big breakfast because I'm getting underneath 235. Pereira walks around at like 240, and he has magnificent accolades. Business-wise, it makes more sense. I'm going to call him this, fight the nobody that may be more dangerous, or fight the guy with all the accolades who's incredibly dangerous, but it actually will affect your legacy. Me beating Cyril Gane didn't change anything for me, just gave me a few more millions.
And I think it's been great. Like your answers have seemed really honest, and it's like, yes, Alex Pereira, from a business standpoint, makes more sense than Tom. And I also thought it was great that you were like a guy 7 years younger, 30 pounds heavier. Like I get it, why fans want to see it. And maybe some fans want to see you lose, but I also think fans just want to see you like really challenged. Like they see you as like you're this greatness, and we want to see greatness challenged. Like a lot of people, their favorite fight of yours is Alexander Gustafsson. So is there still a part of you like as a competitor that is drawn at all to that? Like I hear everything that you're saying, but I also like, and maybe that's just something about like getting older and what you've accomplished in your career, but I think that's why people want to see it. It's like they see it as like this great challenge. They want to see greatness challenge. Like does that entice you at all still?
There's a part of it that does, but if I'm being completely honest, I feel like Tom's been such an asshole that I don't want to do business with him. It's just like his fans have been so annoying. And obviously, you don't get this far in a career being affected by fans or whatnot. But he's just an asshole, with his, he's 30, so he's from this influencer generation where you hop online and the T-shirt sales and all that. I'm past that type of stuff. I'm like, bro, if you had a little bit more respect, then maybe we could have worked something out, But I just don't even want to do business with him. At the end of the day, this is a business. And fighting me gives him an opportunity to change his life forever. And I don't even want to give him the opportunity. Like he just played his cards wrong with me personally. And I'm 3 years from being a 40-year-old grown man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the press conference, going through the whole shebang with him. I'd rather not do. Pereira on the other side, respectful, cool, barely says much. It's like, I'll do business with you. I would risk it all with a human being like you. You actually have the accolades to back up your shit. This other guy is just a big mouth who's hot today. There's been so many guys who's hot today who are just gone. Sergey was in the same position not too long ago. Now he's starting to fall off already. I've just been around this sport too long to give a big mouth who's hot today the opportunity. All right, guys, thank you so much.